asked you guys to send in your lockdown confessions, and just by the titles of some of these emails, you lot were up to some tomfoolery. But before I get into this, I must say, when I do my next video on confessions, please, 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 please learn how to use punctuation. My God. Like, okay, so I've got this one, the first one. I thought I was the Joker. I'm going to show you what it originally looked like. I had to put it in Google Docs because it was just unreadable. Mate, it just looked like this. That's what? That's a wall of text. I'm not reading all that. Well, I am reading all that. Just format it better, please. Anyway, first email. I thought I was the Joker. Back when the Joker movie first came out in 2019, me and my friend were obsessed with it. This continued into 2020, and as lockdown took place, it spiraled into a severe obsession for me in particular. Okay, I don't like where this is going already. It started with me putting a picture of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker as my lock screen. Already not a very good start. Then I printed pictures out to stick on my wall as a type of shrine. I ordered many stickers to decorate my laptop and phone and started doing full-on clown makeup. It progressed even further when I discovered Photoshop. Oh my God. I started taking pictures of myself and putting them next to or in scenes in Joker. I would legit walk around with full clown makeup in my house / when we could do our hourly walks, and even on my Zoom / Teams meetings for college. Oh no, man, you didn't turn up to college dressed as the fucking Joker, man. You didn't turn up to college dressed as the Joker. I mean, it was online college. It was online lessons, but still. Whoa, that's rough. That is rough. This lasted a full year. Even when we were allowed back to college, I continued with my clown makeup, burgundy suit. You got the fucking fit? You got the Joker fit? Are you joking? Well, clearly. I continued with my clown makeup, burgundy suit, yellow waistcoat, and green shirt. My shrine ended up taking up a whole section of my wall with around 200 pictures, some of which were the Photoshop ones. Fucking hell. I was in so deep that I genuinely believed I was the Joker in female form. Hang on, I was fully expecting just, like, it to be a bloke. Like, this is, like, the most sort of basement dweller bloke thing that anyone could do. Think they're the Joker. You're a girl. That definitely makes it worse. I picked up the mannerisms and would quote the movie daily. I even started smoking because of it. I'm clean now. What the... That's so fucking insane. This is insane. I genuinely cringe so much looking back and can't even watch the film fully without having flashbacks to lockdown. P.S. Some of my friends still bring this up every time a lockdown anniversary is mentioned. Yeah, I bet this is so embarrassing. This is so insanely... You thought you were the Joker. You walked around in a waistcoat and makeup. That's mad. So in lockdown, me and my mates tended to sneak out a lot at night and go break into places. But one night we were so bored, we decided to jump the gate of our high school. We found the food storage room, and hear me out, we were really thirsty. But we decided to break a window to get the drinks. And I mean, we raided the storage room, and it felt like a GTA heist, lugging all them Radnor Fizzes and Capri Suns and putting them over the fence. Obviously, we couldn't take them home, so we stashed them away so we could get them the next night. Why couldn't you take them home? Were they too heavy? What do you mean? You come back the next night and get? Why couldn't you take him home that night? What do you mean, obviously, you couldn't take him home that night? The next night comes, we get all the drinks, but we see a police van drive past, and one of my mates was on a bike and boosted, but me and my other mate were left with the drinks. So we've had to stash them and go hide. It just got worse, though. Not long after, there's a helicopter flying over us, and we're just laying in someone's garden for a good 40 minutes. I don't believe this. At least I don't believe the police fucking sent a helicopter out because there was a break-in at a school and some Radnor Fizz and Capri Sun went missing. I just don't think that's worth the fucking thousands it would cost to get a police helicopter out. Eventually, we decide we need to make a break for it, and we do. We jump a fence, and then a police officer with a taser comes over the fence and tells me and my mate to freeze. You're bullshitting. This is absolute bullshit. We got cuffed and detained, and it turns out they weren't even out for us. Some mental guy escaped from the hospital nearby, and they thought it was us. Oh, right, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, they weren't going to send out... What is wrong? What makes you think they're going to send out the police helicopter and, like, half-armed police officers looking for you because you stole Capri Suns? Got taken home, didn't get caught because it turns out the cameras in our school were fake. Yeah, that's true. That, like, in a lot of schools and colleges, they just put up fake ones. You can get them in Poundland. Well, at least when I was at school, you could get them in Poundland. Just fake security cameras. It's crazy. And still to this day, I think about the time I could have got charged for burglary, vandalism, breaking and entering. Not my cup of tea, to say the least. Don't expose me. I won't expose you, don't worry. But I don't think you would have got a charge. But I think burglary is a much more serious offence than breaking into a school and and stealing some soft drinks. I confess that in 2020 lockdown, I was forced to stay in my wardrobe for 5 hours to give my mum space for her yoga classes and wet myself. What? Why you confess? This isn't your fault. A confession should be like something you've, like the last one, like the last person sinned because they broke into their school. The person before that sinned because they thought they were the Joker. You haven't sinned here. Your mum's the dickhead in this scenario. She should be the one confessing to her sins to me. For context, in 2020, I was 13 and going through school digitally, which meant the TV couldn't be on parents' rules while I did class. This annoyed my mother, who used to do yoga classes always in the afternoon after work at 2, just in time to come get me from school after I finished. This continued until about a month and a week into the lockdown. She asked me to stand in the cupboard and finish my maths homework and only come out if I was told I could. So I went into my somewhat small wardrobe and completed my homework by using the lights through the slits in the door. So after doing so, I asked if I could come out yet, but I was told no, as my mum was still doing yoga. Yeah, don't come out the fucking... Your mum, she's doing yoga. She's trying to be the Joe Wicks of yoga. Don't you know this? You inconsiderate little shit. Stay in the wardrobe. I did not ask again until I needed to go to the toilet, and my mum was watching something on the TV at the time, I think Friends, and guessing she hadn't heard me, I opened the door to the wardrobe and was told to go back inside as I was not permitted to leave. Man, I know this is like 5 years ago, but cool childlike. Better late than never, fucking hell. I asked numerous times after this to no avail until I wet myself after holding it in for an hour and a half. After telling my mum of the predicament I was left in, she let me out of the wardrobe, I'd fucking hope so, and cleaned me up. We still laugh about it to this day. Your mum's a prick. What? Your mum made you piss yourself in a wardrobe. What? Hi, George. In lockdown, I think I could count on one hand how many times I showered or brushed my teeth. Lol. What makes it worse is I actually went to school at this time. I probably stunk the gaff out. Yeah, you think? You can count how many times you showered or brushed your teeth on one hand in the space of like a year and a half. What? Okay, hiya, George. I'm sorry how cringy these will be. Number 1, I used to walk around with a face mask with my with my TikTok username on it because I thought it would bring me more followers. I genuinely wish I was joking. I felt like I've just been shot. I feel like I've just like had like a... That's cringe. That's fucking cringe. And I know that word is so overused, but that is genuinely cringe. Like, if I saw someone walking around with a face mask with like their TikTok ads on, I would physically recoil in pain in public. Jesus. To the great toilet paper theft. It was 2020, toilet paper was running low as it did. I had the genius idea of visiting my nan every other day and slowly stealing her toilet paper. Stealing from the elderly. No. We don't advocate for that on the George M channel. Everyone told me it was evil. I don't really quite go as far as to say evil. It's toilet paper. It's not evil. It's just not great form, I don't think. Everyone told me it was evil and wrong for me to steal toilet paper from my grandmother. Did I care? No, I wanted to wipe my ass. Fair enough. I ended up scrapping the plan entirely and just taking all 3 massive, like, 12-roll packs from her bathroom and running to hide them all in my dad's car. She never found out. And the third confession is be overly obsessed with the Dream SMP. I feel as though a lot of people were. I think that's forgivable. The time my English teacher had a wank on our Zoom call. Oh, fucking hell. Hello, George. So I was in year 9 during lockdown and we had English pretty much every day. In English, we would do the same thing and everyone would pretty much be on mute unless they were answering something. Everyone except my English teacher. Let's call him Mr. Smith. So during a lesson, we got told to just do our work and he would check in on us every now and then. So everyone just did their work until we all hear a squelching noise coming from Mr. Smith's mic. We all thought nothing of it until there was now moaning coming from it as well. Your teacher was gooning while you were doing your work. And to be fair, right, that must have happened a lot. That must have happened a fair amount. Because, like, if their cameras weren't on, if their mics weren't on, and they were just like, yeah, just spend the next, like, I don't know, 40 minutes going through your work, and I'll be back in 40 minutes. So many of them must have just gone off for a tug. Nobody says anything. Nobody turns on their mic. Silence. It gets progressively louder until he finishes with himself. And at this point, someone had recorded it and was sending it to everyone in our year. Our teacher then sorts himself out and proceeds to ask us how we're all doing with our work. Nobody responds. He asks us if we heard him. And some boy has the audacity to say, "We definitely heard you, sir," pretty loudly, actually. Everyone was laughing except Mr. Smith. Yeah, I bet. That's probably the most embarrassing moment of his life by far. He's just wanked off in front of a class of year 9s. I mean, I'm not even embarrassing. that's illegal. Very illegal. But from the looks of it, unintentionally, so he still should not be jacking it at work. He asked, would you like to explain what that means? And someone else starts playing the video from their phone. Mr. Smith immediately leaves the Zoom call, and the video somehow gets round to the school board, and now Mr. Smith is in prison for indecent exposure around minors. The family sex toy scandal. Hi George, this is a bit of a long one. I moved out of my parents' house just a few months before lockdown began, but I had not yet changed my shipping address on AliExpress to my new apartment, and my packages continue to get delivered to my parents' house. Anyway, one day I get a little bored and decided to purchase a vibrator from AliExpress without realizing it would be sent to my parents' house. A couple of weeks passed and I began to worry about the time it was taking for my vibrator to arrive, so I checked the shipping tracker only to see it had been delivered to my parents' house, which I thought was weird because my parents would have called me if they had received my package. I called my brother, who still lived with them, to see if they had a package with my name arrive at the house, and he said no. However, there was a parcel my mother was returning left in the car. It turns out that she had ordered the same vibrator as me and thought she was sent to by mistake. My mother then tried to give the vibrator she kept, which she had been using for the past week, and when I declined, offered to take me to a sex toy shop. I could not think of a worse expedition than going to a sex toy shop with one of my parents. And she said she would treat me, oh what a treat, she said she would treat me to any vibrator I want, an offer which I also declined. Yeah, I bet. A couple of weeks later, my mother showed up outside my door with a group of male strippers and told me, okay, like, this is fucking bollocks. This is absolute. No, your mother did not show up with a group of male strippers. That's fucking bullshit. But because she nicked your AliExpress vibrator, bullshit. I'm gonna keep reading anyway. And told me she was very sorry for the mistake with the vibrator. I screamed at her about how she was disgusting, and she was also not supposed to be there because of the lockdown regulations. Is that really the fucking biggest thing on your mind? She's turned up to your door with a group of male strippers while you're arguing with each other. My upstairs neighbor heard this and decided to call the police and report me for having an illegal lockdown sex fight. I mean, it just didn't happen. I was shocked when the police showed up and was very embarrassed when I had to explain to them what happened. Well, thankfully, you didn't have to explain to them what happened because none of this ever happened. I've only spoken to my mother a handful of times since. In 2020, I wanted to have COVID so bad that I licked the wall outside of my house. In 2020, I really wanted COVID for attention, maybe. I don't know. It was 5 years ago. I decided that anytime I passed a rock wall fence outside my house, I'd lick it. It worked because I got COVID, probably not related to the licking of rock wall fences. I regretted it so bad because, as you know, having COVID sucked. Yeah, it wasn't very good. You wanted... I don't know anybody. I've never even heard of anybody that wanted COVID. That's such an insane thing to want. I know this sounds fake. I wish it was. During lockdown, I knew this girl who lived over the road from me. We used to hang out before COVID started. The day after the guidelines were put in place on gatherings and we couldn't hang out, I woke up to find her in my house. Wasn't that crazy the first time? However, this girl continued to break into my house every single day. I would find her under my desk, in my kitchen, in my bathroom, etc. at random times. You should probably close your fucking window or door then. You should probably lock your doors and windows if you don't want her breaking in. When I decided to keep my doors locked all day, every day, she climbed through my window. She should probably lock the windows then. Side note, she made me film a video of her doing the WAP dance on my kitchen floor during this time, okay? Eventually, I grew a spine and told her to stop breaking into my house. It took you this long? It took you an event. You didn't tell me the amount of time, but it took you an eventually to tell her to stop breaking into your house. Surely after the first time she broke into your house, you should have told her to stop breaking into your house. Eventually, I grew a spine and told her to stop breaking into my house after she found out I like girls and started calling me slurs, which didn't work. I ended up having to threaten her with a bread knife to get her to stop. Now she has a baby. I fear for that baby. We were 13 during lockdown, by the way. Got nudes from old ladies on Scrabble. What the fuck? I know lockdown was desperate times, but come on, man. Come on. So basically, in the middle of lockdown in 2020, I was extremely bored after sitting in my house and doing nothing for 2 weeks. It only took you 2 weeks to get to the point where you're begging old ladies for nudes. It took you 2 weeks. Fucking hell. What were you up to after 8 months? Eventually, the thing I thought of doing to cure my boredom was wanking. Fair enough. So I just did that, but my 14-year-old brain... You're 14! My 14-year-old brain thought that it would be boring to just go onto the hub or whatever. I had the bright idea of to go onto Scrabble and try and flirt with old ladies for nudes. Zero clue where this came from, but I was a horny bastard. After a few games, I found this Leng Millennial and managed to get some. How the fuck does that happen? How the fuck, how do you get nudes from Scrabble? What? I did this for about 20 minutes and even made a slideshow of them and did my thing. I'm still ashamed to this day and I have no clue what I was thinking, but yeah, there's my shame. What? 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 I'm baffled. I'm fucking baffled. Jesus Christ. They don't get any better. This one's just titled Homemade Fleshlight. Hello, George. I'm sorry if you read this. In lockdown, I was about 16 and had the genius idea to create my own fleshlight that could make COVID life a little better. I had a foam baseball bat that hadn't gotten any use yet due to restrictions, so I thought it could be of better use as something else. I managed to take the hard plastic tube from inside the foam and was left with a very small opening. Over the course of a week or two, I would find increasingly wide objects to stretch the foam tube out until it was usable. I had also managed to find a spot to wedge it in so it was more stable. Oh, well, that's good. I only got 3 uses out of it before my... You used it 3 times. I only got 3 uses out of it before my post-nut clarity hit hard enough that I felt like my ancestors were watching me commit an ultimate sin. Well, I mean, lockdown did crazy things to all of us. I think you might be the only person to fuck a baseball bat. I promptly washed it and threw it away discreetly. The creativity of a horny teenager is often disgusting and shameful. 10 out of 10 shag, though. Jesus Christ. It doesn't get any better. This one's like not sexual, but it's still fucking weird. What is up with you lot? Terminally ill sister fan fiction about disgraced Minecraft YouTuber. Where is this going to go? Hello, George. Before you read this, I'd like you to know that I was a very angsty and morbid child and deeply regret this. I'm still going to judge you. I don't care. It was 2020 and we were doing online school. The work they set for us was a piece of cake. And I ended up finishing all I'd been set for the day in about half an hour. For some random reason, around that time, I began reading fan fiction, specifically fan fiction of one specific group of Minecraft YouTubers, the Dream SMP. One day, I decided I would take matters into my own hands and began writing a fan fiction in which the main character was the terminally ill, bullied, and abandoned younger sister. I would mute the tab and write fan fiction, not even on Wattpad, on Quotev. I don't know what that one is. I've heard of Wattpad. I don't know what that one is. I don't really want to know. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm guessing it's just horrible Wattpad, even more horrible Wattpad. If you thought it couldn't get worse, oh yes, it can. Not only was I writing fan fiction about these Minecraft YouTubers, I wrote one about being the estranged, terminally ill younger sister of a now extremely disgraced member of that group. I gave up writing fan fiction in 2023, but it does mean I'm acing my English literature paper 1Q5. Honestly, you'll probably get a lot like these. No, but I swear I've changed now. Okay. 19 plus hours daily screen time. What? You slept 5 hours? Because the fucking TikTok grind never ends. What is my screen time? Because I know so many people. Like, I swear, like the average screen time of people I know is probably like 6 hours. I feel as though I'm glued to this fucking thing. What is my screen time? My screen time is 3 hours. Average of 3 hours. Can you see that? You see that? 3 hours. But I feel like I'm glued to the fucking thing. How do people do like 6, 7, 8 hours on their phones? I don't get it. I feel so unproductive as it is spending 3 hours on my phone. That seems like an insane amount of time to spend on this stupid block. 19 hours. Are you mad? Hi, George. I absolutely despise lockdown schooling, so all I did almost all day, every day, was go on my phone. This paired with my horrendous sleep schedule because of the lack of routine meant I had 19 plus hours of screen time nearly every day. That's silly. That's so depressed. That's actually fucking really depressing. Like, whenever I have people tell me that I'm not claiming to be, holier than thou, better than other people. I definitely am. But like when people tell me they have like fucking 6 hours of screen time, I'm like, Jesus Christ, get a life. 19 hours. I know there weren't much going on during lockdown. That's kind of the point of lockdown, but wow, 19 hours. That is depressing. You only slept for 5 hours a night. One day my Snapchat screen time was 15 hours. What were you doing on Snapchat for 15 hours? And I once received 700 notifications from Snapchat in a day. It got to the point where I could literally feel my brain rotting. No, you weren't feeling it rotting. It was already rotten. If you could spend 19 plus hours on your phone every day, you do not have a brain. You are functioning on autopilot. And my attention span was in the bin, I bet. I was genuinely struggling to read at the age of 15 horrendous times. Yeah. If there's anything you can learn from this person's tale of woe, get off your phone. Get off your phone, read a book, fucking watch George M videos. These are very productive, I promise. You're learning lots of things here. Like this message. You're learning lots of things. I know some people watch me on their phones, but Put me on the big screen or something, or on your computer or something. It's better than watching it on your phone. Okay, so in lockdown, I was 13, minding my business, watching iNabber on my mum's iPad. She gets a notification, and I tried to swipe it away, but instead, I clicked on it and was met with messages upon messages of my mum cheating on my dad, sending nudes, just being overall freaky. For some godforsaken reason, I decided to scroll up in the chats, and that's the story of how I found out my mum has a piss kink. Well, that's not very lovely, is it? Hi, keeping it nice and short for you. I didn't shower or brush my teeth for 27 days. Was this a common thing? I mean, this is better than the one we had earlier in the video where they said that they only showered and brushed their teeth less than 5 times throughout the whole of lockdown. But this is still fucking grim. This is still abnormally grim. I didn't shower or brush my teeth for 27 days. I started counting after the filth kind of became like a game to see how long I could go. I now, of course, do it daily. Oh yeah, of course they do it daily. Of course they do it daily. They would never think of not doing it daily. No. What would make you think that? The fact they didn't shower or brush their teeth for 27 days? That was in the past. I have no excuse. I'm sorry. Also a fully grown adult woman. Work from home, obviously. Right, well, I'm going to leave it there for this video. Like and subscribe, or I'm going to put you in another lockdown. Not with a virus, but with my fist. I'm going to bang! And then you're going to be out for like a year and a half.